everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Blynd Submyshynz. Today, that was terrible. At some point, once Francis gets the actual theme music together, we'll record a canned intro so you don't have to hear that stupid bullshit every time. But for now, that's what you're stuck with.
Super professional.
So today we have
guests.
Two guests.
We have Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm. Jake Kilgore from Chrome Ghost, Sacramento band that we absolutely love and talked about last week with Susie McMullen from Broome as one of her late finds. Didn't believe she didn't know they existed. We of course knew them already because we had Chrome Ghost play a festival.
Yes.
About a year ago here in San Jose in Cupertino.
That was
it was over a year ago.
Oh, shit.
I got all the Facebook memories of it.
Yes. Instagram memories.
For about a week. Yeah, you can tell he's the IG guy. I'm the Facebook guy.
Exactly. I've given up on Facebook. Not entirely.
So, yeah, you probably don't want to hear too much of our bullshit in the beginning this week. As we do more episodes, we kind of solidify exactly what we're going to be doing in each episode a little bit.
New games.
So, last week we pulled some random selections off of Bandcamp, including some way out of genre selections. Tom Aspal, who was the Black Cowboy Disco.
Black
Cowboy Disco.
Yeah.
We interviewed it we reviewed it as people, or reacted to it even as people who don't really listen to the kind of music that he's making, and then we posted and tagged him like the dummies that we are, thinking, he's gonna love us.
Who is this we?
Well, me, whatever. Thinking,
I'm kidding.
Of course, he's gonna love being mentioned, and then he's like, "Hey guys, thanks for tagging me. Nice of you to be really rude about my music."
Yeah.
Ended up having a really good conversation with him, though, and I just like to emphasize that, this is all DIY. The bands that we've been in, this podcast, the promoting, all of it is for the love of music, and I don't care what kind of music you make. If you put your heart and soul into it, that's awesome. And
completely. So
he I think initially was worried, oh man, these people are making fun of my music, which I to be fair, I don't think we really made fun of it. I at least just said, it's not for me. It could be the most popular song on earth right now. I'm just not educated enough in his style to even know.
It was great electropop.
Yeah, but in the end, I think we ended up having people share the video and share the podcast, and hopefully drove some new fans his way.
He might have sold some albums.
I hope he sold some albums. So
see, you have electropop to send into a heavy music podcast.
There you go.
There you go.
Hey, talk about reaching a new audience. So yeah, and my goal is never to be rude. I mean, there is the real chance that someone's going to submit something that is just downright objectively terrible.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I'm trying to support people who are doing things on their own. And I think JD's of the same mind.
Oh, completely. So, everybody has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it is terrible, everybody starts somewhere.
You want to have a great episode of Blynd Submyshynz? We will listen to all 5 tracks of the Purple Circus demo from when I was 16 years old in high school.
Shit. I don't even want to put on anything that I played back then.
I have spoken it, so it's going to happen at some point, and I'm not gonna warn anyone.
Actually, we could.
I'm just going to play a song, and you're not going to know what it
maybe you will. The horrible music we played back in the 90s. Whole episode.
Anyways, so we're taking submissions from artists, but we are also on some PR mailing lists, so we get some submissions from labels, and some of it's in metal or hard rock, but a lot of it's not. Electronica, dance music, pop music, R&B, rap. I'll listen to anything. So yeah, keep the submissions coming. Remember, the email is blyndsub, BLYND sub @gmail.com. And without further ado, let's go ahead and admit into the podcast Jake Kilgore from Chrome Ghost.
Hello.
Oh, look at that pretty
What's
face.
up?
Not much. How you doing? Stretching.
Unbanished.
You have been unbanished. You are now with us.
Yeah.
So we gave a quick intro, but Jake, if you want to talk a little bit about your background in music, your band, anything that you want to tell the listeners about what Chrome Ghost has been up to. I mean, I will say, the album that you guys put out is
The Diving Bell.
Yeah, The Diving Bell is so fucking good. And, I listened to it before you put it out. We talked a little bit about this last week because we talked about maybe having Glory or Death put it out. And I said the truth was, I think it deserves better. Right? I think you guys deserved a label that has the time and energy and the resources and the people to really help push you. And man, you guys caught a lot of people's attention. When I saw that tweet from, or was it a tweet or a Facebook post from Mike Schutte, like, "Hey guys, have you listened to this record?" I was like, "Oh shit, it's happening."
When you impress Mike.
Yeah, and then I mean, a total bummer, not to bring up a bummer, but immediately you guys got put on at least one, if not a couple of Yob shows for the tour they were supposed to do this spring, and that had to feel good.
Oh yeah, I mean, that was a cool feeling of being like, hey, this person that I really admire is like acknowledging that I exist and that they think what I do is cool. And yeah, Mike's a really nice guy. I actually sent him a letter. I don't know why. I just
like a
felt
handwritten
like
letter?
I sent him a letter because I asked him, or we got on the topic of shirts, and I was like, oh, I'll send you one, and then I sent him a letter with it, and I was like, looking back, I'm like, I'm glad that he's such a nice guy, because I think some people would receive a handwritten letter in the mail and be like, okay.
Yeah.
It seems a
Expecting somebody to show up to their
little
door and murder them
Unabomber
later.
right now, but
Yeah, there are lots of stories in entertainment though of people who like sent letters to their idols, when they were young, and the idols like took time to write back. Isn't there a story, Judd Apatow? Didn't he like send letters to and interview like all the famous comedians that were adults when he was like 10 years old? He knew comedy was what he wanted to do, and he just like got right to it. I like that spirit.
Interesting.
My problem is that I sent my letter at like 27 years old. I'm way too old.
No way, man. Anytime I get a letter, anytime we get anything handwritten,
it's the best.
It's the best. It's great. And he's such a nice dude. You knew he was not going to be mad about it.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Chrome Ghost. When did you guys?
I'll leave out anything before Chrome Ghost because honestly, there's really not anything. Like,
really?
I had a band in high school, and we were having fun, but we were kind of a mess,
Yeah.
And yeah, I started recording these like acoustic demos when I moved to Los Angeles for a little while, because my main focus was like filmmaking and videos and all that kind of stuff. So I did the whole, I'll move to LA and I'll work on stuff, and I did, but it wasn't what I expected. Not that I had like some dumb pipe dream of like, I'm gonna, meet Steven Spielberg or something, but I got an internship for a video company. I was doing like real stuff, and then I totally just burnt out instantly, where I was just like not interested in doing that. And luckily I brought my guitar with me, so I started playing music, recording these acoustic songs, and it's just weird. I don't know if you listen to it. I have them somewhere on SoundCloud from 2014, and they're just like these weird. You could tell that I had just started listening to like Danzig. It kind of had that like almost like a more hard rock thing going on. And then I sent them to Jacob, the drummer, who I didn't know him at all before that, but we had gone to high school together, but I wasn't aware of him. And then I found out he was drumming for my buddy Matt's hardcore band, which was called Dive at the time. And I heard like a demo that they recorded, which actually, funnily enough, our bass player Joe recorded that demo, so we came full circle eventually.
Funny the way that works.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, this guy sounds like a cool drummer. But before that, it sounds so stupid to say now, but I was gonna move home and record the first Chrome Ghost album, pretty much all the same songs, but I was gonna program all the drums in Ableton.
Wow.
Which now seems like ridiculous, like fake drums.
I can't even imagine that.
Yeah,
how that would sound.
Probably not good, so I'm glad that it didn't happen like that.
I mean, as a functional demo, that's fine if you're just trying to like understand the space and the concepts. But as a final product for what you're doing, I don't know.
Yeah, and well, the thing is, what I didn't realize is more than just needing a physical human being to play the drums, I needed somebody to kind of challenge me on my ideas and say like, why are you doing this way? Or it's a second opinion, really, and whether you want it or not, Jacob offers a second opinion, and he doesn't just like throw them out. Like, he has real thoughts behind it, where he's kind of disarming. He'll say something and you don't have any answer for it at all, and then you really have to sit and think about why you're doing what you're doing, and it's hurtful to somebody like me, who's like I'm like a sensitive artist type. And so somebody just looks at what you've done and goes like, what's up with that? Like, why'd you do that? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And
How would you have done it?
Yeah, the way that we've likened it since then is I'm like the director. I go out and get all the footage, and I mine the depths. I come up with all these ideas, and then that's fine. But then I take it to the editor, and the editor puts it all together and like really turns it into what it is,
Yeah, we have a really similar process, to be honest. Carl, who plays guitar, and Eric, our drummer, they just jam through riff cycles and they just bank them. They have tons of them and figure out patterns, and then I sort of come in and start assembling this. It's like, oh, this would be good here, and oh, this needs here, and there's a transition that needs to happen over here. I'm not that great at coming up with riffs. I'm a basic bitch riff writer, 100%. But luckily, I'm in a band with somebody who's really good at it. So
I come up with sweet riffs in my head.
Dude, that counts for something. Just don't show them. It'll always be good.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we have a special guest who wanted to come in and say hello to you. Ryan from Pound is in the waiting room. I'm going to go ahead and admit him now while he's got a couple minutes.
All right.
Let's see what Ryan's up to.
Sounds like
Hello.
I'm talking to somebody.
Hello.
What's up?
Hey, what's up,
Yay,
man?
how's it going, dudes?
Good. Happy birthday.
Yay, thanks, man. Sorry about that.
Thumbs
I was in another call. I gotta let me reconfigure my stuff real quick.
That's okay.
We can still hear you.
Yeah, awesome.
So
How you doing, dudes?
We're
Fuck,
good.
Jake, it's so good to see you, man. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, so late last night I saw Ryan post on Facebook, hey, tomorrow's my birthday, and I won't be mad at all if anyone wants to do a video call. So I was like, shit, we're recording with Jake. Let's just do a
Let's do a video call and then post it on YouTube.
yeah, something like that.
This is called Making Dreams Come True.
Well, that's the only way you get me to actually do a video call is you throw me in a room with Jake.
There we go.
Any opportunity to hang out with Jake, and I'm there.
Sick. So what are you up to? What have you been listening to, Ryan? That's what I always want to know, because like you're in my top 3 tastemakers. Like Ryan posts music and I listen to it. Period.
Let's see. I've been kind of going back to some older stuff. We've been in writing mode again. So there's nothing else to do right now. I've got about I think 7-8 songs written that we're in the process of getting ready to do. I want to try to get another 3 done before we start thinking about studio time. But I'd like to sometime in the next 3 or 4 months get back down to Denver to knock out another record.
Good Lord, man.
And so I've been kind of going back to a lot of the stuff that I used to listen to a while ago. It's my taste has been leaning towards DB lately. I've been listening to a lot of Dysphere. There's this band from Sweden that I've been a huge fan of for a long time, and for whatever reason, they've just never really taken the foothold that I wish they would. They're called Ursut. It's Ursut. They put out this album called Fool's Paradise back in like 2012, I think it was, something like that. And it's just one of the most banging D-beat records you could possibly get your hands on. It's just some rowdy punk. It's one of those albums you put it on, you start listening to it, and you just go, damn, I have to see this band in just the crustiest basement. It's one of those bands you just like, you want to experience while just being surrounded by just like beer flying everywhere and dudes in crusty like black jean vests and just like you want it in that environment. It's just like you listen to it, it just oozes that vibe. It's really
leave the club covered in blood or
Yeah.
drawing blood at some point.
Totally. Like you want it to be one of those bands where as you're walking into the door to the place, the bouncer just like decks you in the face and pours a beer over your head just to like get it over with. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to happen at some point.
Welcome
so
to
it's just like, let's just get it ready.
Yeah, we have an underground wrestling league here in San Jose, UGWA, And
Cool.
they're actually pretty popular, and they started off doing house shows, and oftentimes I think they would combine like with a real ring and shit, house wrestling shows with these like San Jose crust punk shows. And so you just have a house party that's like backyard wrestling and crust punk.
That's sick.
And I think that's a band that we could see.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you ever see Peanut Butter Wolf?
No, I'm unfamiliar.
That movie was incredible. Wasn't it called Peanut Butter Wolf?
Peanut Butter Falcon?
Peanut Butter Falcon.
The fuck are you talking about?
Peanut Butter Wolf is a rapper, I think. Okay. Peanut Butter Falcon.
No.
It was so good.
No, I need to see it. That's a wrestling
But yeah,
movie,
they
right?
had the backyard wrestling ring with Jake the Snake. And
Cool.
Dope.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
down for that. No,
All right.
I want to know what Jake's been listening to, man.
Yeah,
Let's hear it.
we didn't even ask him that.
Yeah, I've been getting super weird. I don't know. I think people expect that you're a tough guy and you listen to just metal.
Jake from Chrome Ghost gets super weird. Oh, big surprise.
All right. Well, I won't preface it anymore. I've been really into. I've been listening to like Tears for Fears
Nice.
and
Sick.
Violator by Depeche Mode. I put that CD in my car and just like let it keep going.
That was classic.
You should see the Spotify. Oh, I should actually just tell you. I have a Spotify playlist of songs that I want us to cover. I have to fight tooth and nail just to get anything because the other guys are, well, mostly Jacob will just veto it, you know.
No covers.
But I have like Teardrop by Massive Attack.
Oh,
We would do a good cover of that. There's
Yes.
Depeche Mode,
good.
Tears for Fears, Army of Me by Bjork.
Oh, good
I wanna
lord,
do
that
that.
That's a
that
good
song is so fucking great.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Concrete Blonde, that's a super underrated band that my mom used to play in all the time in the car, and I want to do a Concrete Blonde song.
That's awesome.
Oh, that makes me feel super old,
I
but
know.
that's
I was
okay.
just gonna say. So you were born in the '90s.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Oh, I will say though, that's one fucking great thing about our scene is it's like I'm 19, I'm 38, I'm 70. Cool.
70,
Let's
yeah.
all go see shows together.
That is.
Yeah.
I
There's no
actually
age
like-
limit to liking cool music. So.
No. Violator, the Depeche Mode on the Violator tour was my very first concert that I went to.
What?
Yeah.
So growing up, I never saw cool concerts. I think the first concert I ever saw was Ted Nugent at the California State Fair.
Ugh.
Sick. Hey,
Yeah.
if you're gonna see Ted Nugent, that's where you want to see him.
Yeah,
It's
it
at a
has to
freaking
be at a
state
state
fair.
fair.
Yeah,
exactly.
Dude,
of course, man.
So this was like 2005, and he brought out a 7-foot tall cardboard cutout of Osama bin Laden on stage,
Oh, nice.
and then he took like a bow and arrow and he
boy.
shot an arrow right into his face, and I was like, whoa. Even back then, I was like, I don't know if this is like my bag. I don't think this is
No.
like my vibe.
That's weird.
You know.
It's okay. Stranglehold's still a great song, and the fact that he didn't actually sing it makes me so happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So whenever we're creatively bankrupt at practice, we do 20-minute covers of Stranglehold, just to like get the bad energy out when you first start playing, you know. And
Yeah.
we do that, and then we come up with fake Ty Segall songs and just play those, like
That's cool.
fake garage rock songs.
That's awesome.
God, we do the same
other-
thing. We do the same thing, but it's all just Elvis songs.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, we do got like I think we've got like 5 or 6 Elvis covers just like in our back pocket that we haven't done anything with yet.
Oh yeah.
Because
Well-
it's just like, well, I mean, they're most of those songs are really simple. You know,
Yeah.
the structure is really simple,
Yeah.
and you can do all kinds of stuff with them because you could take the same song, because it's so simple. You could take the same song and it's just like, let's try to throw out a D beat. Let's do
Yeah.
a Doom version of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can
Or-
really toy with it in a lot of weird different ways. But you're right. It's like it's really great to kind of get the creative juices flowing because you kind of have a roadmap of what you're already doing, and you know you already kind of know the tune. But yeah,
Yeah.
I just had an insane idea, Ryan. So if you
Mm.
so I obviously listen to Pound. If anyone hasn't listened to Pound, it's just math in my head. Like the whole thing is like it's like listening to math. So if you took an Elvis song and make that, you know, each part of the song the X or Y in a variable. Say it had in a formula. So say it had 2 parts or 3 parts. You have a A B C
Yeah,
or X Y Z,
Yeah.
and then you just pull a formula out of nowhere, exponents, multiplication, whatever. and then apply that to the structure of the song. So to have like a fucked up, mathed out metal Elvis song.
Wow.
See, we tried going super mathy with a few of them, just to, like, see how far we could push it, just to have some fun with it. But the problem with songs that are that simple, like, as much as it leaves a lot of room for interpretation and to kind of screw around with things a little bit, you end up hitting kind of a roadblock because you can only do so much because there's only so much to work with.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Elvis's songs, there isn't even a bridge. Like the song structure is just like the song structure is A B, maybe a little bit of guitar solo over the A section, and then B until it fades out, and that's it. If even that. And like most of those songs are like 2.5, 3 minutes long max, and so it's, you know, it's kind of cool to screw around with it. You can like do different parts for when the different sections come up and stuff like that. But it's I don't know, it's kind of a nice exercise for how limiting, how much you can do with so few parts. Because like the music that I normally write, there's 100 riffs in every freaking song, and like and every time we bring something back, we change it. And like Jake does the same thing in his band too. Like when parts come back, they're morphed and they're changing, and there's like different things that they're adding on or taking away and things like that. But with like a lot of those old school songs like that, there's not much going on. There's just like the two different sections. If it was in a modern day recording studio and I was working on that album, I would have the band record each section once and then just copy and paste the shit. It's like because it's the same thing. It's just the exact same thing. So I mean, and that's not a diss, you know. It's just cool that you can like have that much impact with only writing so little. Yeah, you know, it's good to exercise restraint, which is something that I've definitely been trying to learn how to do. Yeah, failing at miserably.
I would almost be more interested in hearing Pound play an Elvis song straight.
Yeah.
Straight.
No frills. Like that would be the ultimate fuck you to like a diehard fan. It's like, oh shit, they're covering an Elvis song, and then it's just totally normal. You know?
just like a straight up cover.
Yeah. Just note for note.
Yeah.
Dude, bust out my old tell, and like I still have my dad's old Fender Champ amp, like the little tiny thing, and it just it sounds like butter. I just had it retubed. It was definitely needing some little loving, and it'd be so cool to like actually go clean channel and like super old school and do like a note for note cover of a song like that.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
By an artist like that, just to kind of like, just to do it, just to flex on it, you know?
Yeah. We definitely have at least one Elvis cover in our quiver too. With having Troy as a singer, you can't like get away from it. And Troy can croon like a motherfucker.
Well, when you started off being called Elvis Doom,
well, that was
it kind of says.
I
never liked that, but it did happen.
Dude, I think Jake's gonna be stoked out of his mind when we finally drop this. We're almost done with the recording process for our first covers EP. We got Lindsay from Comer Clustervoid teamed up with us. We've been doing this new project. We're calling it Pound Plus, and we pick a singer.
Bar?
Yeah, right, there you go. So we pick a singer from another band, and we have them pick like 10 or 11 non-metal songs. And we choose 4 or 5 of those songs, and then we turn them into Pound songs. And and then when we need some extra musicians or some extra layers and stuff, we hit up buddies of ours from different bands from like all kinds of different eclectic genres and things like that. And so we end up with these like really cool, unique covers. And so on this first one with Lindsay, we're doing a Bjork cover. We're doing a PJ Harvey cover. We're doing a Fantagram cover, and we're doing a Sneaker Pimps cover.
Nice.
Oh, shit.
This is like what makes me happy. I love stuff like this.
Totally. Well, we gotta do one with you one of these times. Since your bandmates keep turning down all these sick covers, I mean, we'll fucking do it. Dude, like most of those songs, that'll take me like 2 weeks, and I can fucking have that ready to go. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
I will not
do it at some point.
Sounds really fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey Ryan, thanks for joining. Happy birthday, everybody! Give Ryan a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Hell yeah,
thumbs
boys.
up. Hey Ryan, I have a big glass of chocolate milk in my fridge for you, so I'll drink that today.
Okay. Gotta drink that before I come down there and steal it from you.
In your honor.
Okay.
All right. Take
Thanks,
care of
man.
yourselves, boys.
Hey,
Have a good
thanks,
one. Bye.
Ryan.
Yep. Bye.
That's super fun.
Oh man, he's such a ball of energy. I love like just being cornered
Yeah.
by Ryan for like 2 hours in a dingy bar with just all the ideas spilling out of him constantly. Dude is just
So to bring you guys into the equation, I had a great conversation with Ryan at the Bowling and Beers in Hell.
yeah.
And something that I remembered, I people on listening can't hear. I just recently cut my beard off. My beard was really big, and of course Ryan has a big beard too. And some guy came up to him and was like, "Dude, your beard is so big. Like, what do you do, man?" And the life just drained out of Ryan's eyes because, like, I connected with that so deeply because the last thing that I care about, want to talk to somebody, a stranger about, is like my beard. It seems like such an inane question.
It is insane.
It's like going up to somebody and going like, "Dude, those your socks, like, how do you clean them? What do you do? What kind of laundry detergent do you use?"
It's so
And,
Socks
bizarre.
are so white.
You know, people make a comment about having a long beard, and I always tell them, "Oh, it just keeps growing. Like it's hair."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when I see you guys, the first thing I don't think isn't like, I want to talk to them about their mustache.
Let's talk
But
fucking
there are
beards.
people out there that really care about that, and it's like,
There
can we talk about music or something that's interesting instead of just
Yeah.
like the thing that grows out of your face? Like,
You have
and
very little
that's
control.
I already liked Ryan. We had already had already had like many very nice conversations in person and on the phone. And I'm sure you guys know he's just a super generous person. Like anything that he knows
Yep.
is welcome to you. Like he's like a library.
The
Yep.
first time.
And yeah, I saw him just get pissed at this guy. Well, maybe not pissed. I don't want to mischaracterize him, but I saw him react to this guy asking him about his beard, and I was like, you know what? I fucking like this guy. This is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, the first time we booked a Pound show, I mean, he, you being in a band, and Jeff knows that when you deal with promoters, a lot of times you get a bunch of flakes, and I think he booked an entire like 8-show run, and us and one other show was the only ones that actually even ended up happening.
That happened. Yeah.
The only promoters that actually communicated with him. But he brought us this giant, like one of those, 2-liter bottles of whiskey, as a thank you. And I'm like,
We were like,
wait a
huh?
second, we're supposed to be paying you, not the other way around.
Yeah.
It's like,
And then ever since then, like anytime I'm booking shows, we're booking festivals, we have tour ideas, whatever. Ryan's just a guy that you bounce ideas off of, and he does the same thing. And
Oh, yeah.
It's such a cool part of the scene is just the camaraderie and people
Completely.
working together.
Agreed.
yeah.
Awesome. Well,
Should we listen to music?
Should we listen to music? Should
Sure.
We do,
Let's
should
do
we
some
do
blind submission.
what we came for? All right. So I'm gonna share my screen, so you're gonna
Okay.
get some Bandcamp here.
Okay.
And then we are going to listen to the first song. Do I not even have Bandcamp up on the tab yet?
I've been thinking about this a lot, and I was scared about being mean at first, but I'm just gonna try and pretend like if this was me listening by myself,
Yeah.
what I would think.
Correct. And
And
a
that's
lot of the point,
exactly-
honestly, what we end up talking about is like, what is it that like turns your crank when, like, you get emails and a band emails you and they want you to listen to their music. When do you listen and when do you not listen? When you see an album or when you see a thumbnail of an album cover, what pushes you to hit play? Because it's like there's so much more music than I can listen to in a day, and I'm trying to figure out what it is that makes me. And one of it, I mean, a huge thing is the tastemakers, right? People I trust. When Ryan puts music in my face, I press play. Period. And he doesn't inundate me with music. But it'll be like, hey, here's 2 things. Check these out. And I'm like, absolutely. I wouldn't miss it.
Yeah, completely.
So the first song is called Terminus.
Okay.
This was actually submitted to us by the band.
Yes.
Okay.
These are
All right.
submissions.
These are submissions. And we get down. This is Terminus right here. Volume is good.
So let's see what is this going to be?
Yeah. What do
Without
we?
reading anything.
Yeah, don't-
I kind of like the art. It's
I like the
pretty
art.
dramatic. The band is All Meridians, and they have a pretty sparse looking record cover. It looks like it's got some like fractal stuff in there. So it could be more modern leaning, because anytime I see like geometry, I always
Yeah.
think of like
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And it's black and red, so I mean, it's probably going to be intense if that's what they're trying to get across.
Yeah, I would guess you're going to hear the clean tones. These guys roll up to a show with a rack of gear, not stacks of vintage gear, and it's going to be, you know.
I'm thinking Pelicanish, maybe.
Huh.
Russian Circle.
Oh, that's true.
Could
Kinda...
be. All right.
Okay.
So we're going to listen for a little bit, and then we'll kind of pause.
Okay.
Susie yelled at us because she's like, I want to listen until you get to the drop, and there's always a drop in the song. The problem is the drop could be a minute in, but we'll just you know, listen, and then I'll pause it at some point.
Okay.
And give me a thumbs up after I hit play to make sure you're hearing it.
Okay.
So JD always says the vocals are the make or break moment if an album's going to have.
That's my make or break.
That's his make or break. So.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think that I would rather hear a song with no vocals than a song with some like half-ass vocals. Yeah. Before I say anything, what did you guys think of that?
It was not what I expected. I'll start there. It was a little rougher, a little sludgier than I would have initially guessed. Tones were different.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that definitely was not Pelican.
It's a good surprise.
But I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too.
I'm still listening.
Yeah. Would you still be listening at this point, or would
I think I would too. I think the only thing that stuck out to me negatively was the production. I just think it could be.
It was kind of muddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if that's what you're going for, then it's cool because it's kind of got like a demo quality to it.
Yeah.
It kind of there were the weird like obtuse chords kind of reminded me of Sumac, which I was like, okay, this is kind of neat. Like,
yeah.
The dude's voice was cool. I just would like with a voice like that where it's more like neurosis-y, I want to hear it kind of like wider and in the mix more, or maybe just like cavernous reverb or something.
That's funny.
Yeah, totally.
So remember the one we listened to last week, the Swimmer?
Oh yeah.
That was another kind of like hardcore to post-hardcore yelly vocal. It was exactly like that. It was right in the middle. It was right on top of the mix, and it was very direct with like no production.
Yeah.
And it was like I wish that and this were sitting in the mix more and had a little bit more space.
It's very. I wonder if they come from like a hardcore background, because that is a very like, hardcore vocal sort of mix. It's
hardcore dudes are way too into like it's got to be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I remember this is funny. I played a show a while ago for my buddy Matt's. He was having like a benefit show, and it was us. So one doom band and then like 10 hardcore bands. And we went first, and we had like a fog machine, and then my buddy's band went right after us. And I remember like jokingly hitting the button on the fog machine, and he was like, "What the fuck, dude?" I was like, "Oh, sorry." I was like, "I guess these hardcore guys don't like the fog."
Oh, come on. So these guys are from Madison, Wisconsin, and classify themselves as a post-metal band, essentially. So yeah, I mean.
Oh no, they're an introspective post-metal band.
My eyes are bad, and that red on black text is kind of far away from me.
Don't worry, I'm here for you guys to look at stuff.
Fuck yeah!
I think this is not the song they sent us, though. Should we listen to the song they wanted us to listen to?
Which one was the one? This is Terminus. Yeah, that's what this is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking at the... Never mind.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are both blind. Come on.
Looking at the album cover. Yeah, our setup here with the computer kind of far away so that we can capture both of us makes it a little challenging.
Okay.
There, we can old man it right there.
Should we listen to some more of this?
There we go. Yeah, let's listen to
play like another 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blind, shame.
Yeah, so I do like it. Zeroed in on the drums during that part of the listen, and I am not a fan of the drum production at all.
What he's playing is cool.
Yeah, no, the playing's
Yeah.
good. I just don't like the tones. It's
Yeah.
it's EQ'd strange, so it's just like slappy and
Yes.
clicky, and I'm not hearing the kind of the reverberation of the drums, just the strike on the head.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Overall, though, I mean, I like it.
Yeah.
Like I like it.
The ethos of how they recorded the drums is how they record the bass in Korn songs.
Oh, sorry. Are we gonna have to talk about that once an episode?
Dude, I remember you talking about it. But you didn't mention that there are fieldy isolated bass tracks on YouTube.
Oh boy.
That's really cool.
Oh,
It's
man.
awesome because he has a good sub bass sound, like it's a thick, like almost like a synthy sound, and then it just sounds. Jacob always says it sounds like a bunch of bass strings in a cardboard box.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And the sub's probably piped in with triggers, or you
Yeah.
know, it's tracks underneath. So I'm impressed by like the quality and the amount of merch versus the production quality and then the number of supporters. So it's like they're all in on this for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe they're fairly new.
Yeah, it feels kind of like a demo.
They don't have
Yeah.
any other releases on the side.
Yeah, I didn't
Good
see anything
branding.
else. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good
I'm
start.
into it.
Let's see
I would see these guys live,
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
check that out.
I'm down.
and then I'd be like, "Hey, here's my buddy Patrick Hill's number. Call him when you record your next album."
Yeah, here. All right. So that was number one. Number two is a little song, and so 4 of these songs are submissions, and then 2 of them I pulled off of the Bandcamp Best Albums of the Summer. I kind of blind stabbed as long as they weren't on a major label. One I grabbed was a sub pop band. They don't need my help, but the other ones were not anything that I recognized or knew anything about. So this is a song called "Giver Taker" by an artist called Anjimile from Boston.
I like the artwork a
Massachusetts.
lot.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Scary. What I done and might do. Mary. You know well I done you wrong. Heartbreak. From the King Heartbreaker. Weary. But somehow I'm still alive. So tell me, am I not supposed to hurt you? Am I not supposed to make you cry?
Oh hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm into
this.
That was
Yeah,
great.
that was fucking great. Good job, Bandcamp. Prove yourself to be a decent judge of music and taste.
Yeah.
If this is one of your best albums of the summer, I love the like really judicious use of percussion and how it sort of built
Like in the beginning.
in the beginning. You know,
You had like the
doom.
shakers.
Yeah, and then a little drum. That was awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so this artist, it says from Boston. Looks like we got anytime you see reviews and a full block of supporters, and a bunch of different types of releases. This is someone who is
Been doing it a while.
not necessarily just a home hobbyist, which there are a fair amount of on Bandcamp, and I don't have any issues with that. It's a debut album.
I think. How is that possible?
I don't know.
Maybe there's just some singles released before.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of people do not come out of the gate with albums, especially outside of the like metal genre. Most
Yeah.
people like there's like the popular rappers. The album is completely irrelevant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter at all. It's all about your singles, especially on like YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and gaming the stream system so that the songs are just long enough to monetize. But I mean, we're so fucking stupid with our 10-minute songs.
Yeah.
Until
You know what though? To go on a tiny tangent, I think that if you see the runtime of the song and it looks too long to you, then you probably wouldn't like it anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I just
So it's a little bit of a gatekeeper, but that's not necessarily bad.
And then
yeah.
there's
know,
the
if I
people
see
that
it-
see a 10-minute song and are like, "Oh,
I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in.
Let's go."
I mean, the reason that I'm not into like power violence is because I see the runtime 27 seconds, and I'm like, what the fuck am I here?
Oh,
It's like if your diet was only Skittles.
yeah. You know, it's funny. We listened to a San Jose band, the first episode, and I'm totally blanking because I'm the Tank Crimes band.
Necrot?
No, Andre's band.
Oh,
Yeah, we're both so old. Anyways, they're
do
you
a
know
lot of forgetting stuff on the
they're
show.
you know they're a grind band, and it's like the songs are a minute and a half, but I
It's-
swear to God, in a minute and a half, you got like 8 minutes worth of music.
I mean, that's true. There's that really big band Gulch. I listened to their new record,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was actually really impressed because normally I don't like some like really short songs and stuff, but they squeeze a lot of juice out of it.
Yeah, they're good.
Death Grave. There.
Death Grave.
I knew it would
I
come.
knew
To,
it
I,
was
knew,
something.
I knew it would come to me eventually. All right, so let's listen to a little bit more of this.
So
I'm,
Boston,
Yes.
I am enjoying this.
queer and trans.
Damn, I just don't know good loving the right way. I can't be your baby no more. I can't be your baby no more. I can't be your baby no more. 'Cause I done gone crazy. Am I
So much going on in this song.
not supposed to hurt you?
The bass playing is so tasty too. Look at this. So
You know what this is like?
Go ahead.
What?
Oh, I was gonna say this is like when you have like a really popular kid at your high school, and you're like, oh, fuck that person, and then you meet them and they're really nice,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, like, that's why everyone likes you.
That's what.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get it.
Like this is like really likable music and it's actually good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So top comment up here. I found Anjimile in January through a podcast, and I'm very glad I did. Favorite track, Your Tree. Validation for what we're doing here.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna hear this on this podcast.
Yeah, and I'm gonna buy this record.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So number 3. Back to the wish list. Number 3 is a song called Doomsday. This was another submission
Doomsday with an exclamation point.
with an exclamation point, which
Doomsday!
which actually is like kind of a nice twist. All
I
right,
like the you know what this art looks like? It looks like the hedge maze from The Shining.
well, yeah, there you go. Or a video
Oh,
or
yeah.
a video game level.
Yeah.
True.
Like
yeah,
I'm
it looks
getting-
like it could be Pac-Man, fucked up Pac-Man.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting flashbacks of playing like Super NES games, pretending to be homesick from school.
It reminds me of the marble puzzle that everybody used to have on
Oh,
the
yeah.
and you'd pick it up and you'd have to like
Tilt
get
it.
that little thing in.
All right, let's hear it. This is
Let's go.
like a one-track release.
Ooh. All right.
Hell yeah.
So drum and bass and synth.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah. From at first I thought it was just going to be a 2-piece until the synth came in, and I was like, more 2-pieces from Seattle. It's like something in the water up there.
It might still be a 2-piece.
It could still be
mean,
two humans, more than 2 instruments. Yeah, no, I like that.
That's cool. Those
a lot
drums
so
sounded
far.
cool at the beginning.
They had a nice live quality to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that.
Yeah,
felt,
I was into that. Kind of right when it transitioned before we stopped listening, kind of reminded me a little bit of Pinkish Black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think people are starting to go down that path a little bit more. I mean,
Yeah.
I have shortly before Shelter in Place started, I picked myself a Moog Sub 25, and started writing synth parts for songs and figuring out how to be my best Geddy Lee and play synth with my feet. Because I mean, so much of my life playing bass has been manipulating the tone to essentially what I discovered is a synth tone. You know, the grindy bass tones are very synthy, and so I think they work super well together. And there are 2-pieces, drum and bass 2-pieces that pull it off, but JD knows my ear gets happy when I hear those mid and high range noises, whatever instrument they come from. I think it's just my ear craves that.
This was cool.
Yeah, all right, let's
play a little
listen.
more.
There's only 2 people on the cover, so I
Yeah.
wonder if...
I'm going to scoot it in. This is a 6-minute song. Let's scoot it in a little ways.
Sure.
Let's see where we... So right there, I know I'm going to go back and listen to the whole song, and then I'm going to go back through the rest of whatever they have on Bandcamp and listen to that too.
I like this.
I like this a lot.
I'm digging this.
No vocals? You think there's... I'm guessing there's no vocals. I'm guessing it's all instrumental.
Probably.
Here, let's...
This is tight.
That's good stuff.
Drums sound like they're just like stereo mic'd in a room, and they know how to control their kit volume. I wouldn't be shocked if those aren't all individually mic'd up.
Yeah, I mean there's a super old school energy to what's happening there.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. This kind of reminds me of the new Chrome Ghost stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, this is more chill. We're
Yeah.
not what we're doing is not as chill, but we have stuff that's like that kind of micro looping, repetitive King Crimson stuff in some parts.
Yes.
Psychedelic, with like shifting roots underneath. So like
Yes.
I'll play the same thing 500 times in a row, and the drums and the bass are playing something different underneath it. And now this kind of got me into that mood because we had practice yesterday, and there's this one part in one song that's this huge. We call it the King Crimson part. It's this like building. It's the same 4 chords on guitar, but the bass is doing this run underneath, and the drums are just building and building and building, and then there's this like little noodly repetitive guitar part that kind of sounded like what he was playing, and I was like, oh, this I want to pick up the guitar and play. Like, it sounds fun.
I love the little subtle changes in the guitar part too.
Yeah.
Some, like major minor switches, and it was really cool. And I could picture if the synth, the kind of drone that was sitting underneath that the synth was doing, if that was a wall of you playing like a chord, under that, then you have a totally different thing. But but also the same thing.
Yeah, we almost started adding synths onto the new record. I went to Patrick, our engineer, he's essentially like the 4th member of the band, and told him, hey, there's this part where we want a Philip Glass style synth polyrhythm. and we recorded and everything sounded really cool. And then decided that the sound of it wasn't right because it doesn't fit in. This is going to sound really weird. I promise it'll make sense in a year. There's like an Americana thing going on with the new record where it's kind of like,
I know, I get it.
there's almost like what do you want to call, like, I don't even know. There's like a weird gothic folk thing, like almost like Ennio Morricone or like Earth. And then I was like, synth is not going to work. So we did it to this exact same really repetitive arpeggiated thing, but on piano, like on the upright piano.
Yeah, piano or like a fucking glockenspiel.
Dude.
So
I made some demos for the new record, and part of it, there's one song that has this like crazy, drop A riff or whatever, and there's bells.
yeah.
So I mean, you're not too far off.
Yeah,
And like I said, this makes me excited. Like I'm not gonna steal any of their ideas, but I want to hear and see what they did with kind of the same ideas. They seem way more chill.
We have some like heavy roots Americana, even bordering on country vibes in the new music we're writing, and
That's sick.
it wasn't intentional. It just sort of came out that way. So I don't know, something's in the air, I think.
Maybe we play a show and all of us wear cowboy hats.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm down, and I mean maybe there is something in the air though, because I kind of think there is a like, an idea in this I just thought of like trying to reclaim good American music back for the good guys. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I get it.
Like
Give us back our good country.
Yeah,
we don't want any of your crap pop country.
yeah.
Well,
Whether that's a political statement or a statement of the quality of the music, but it's like, no, there are people, decent people who are into this like Americana. It's not all the like stereotypical hillbilly.
Oh no.
And that's partially just me not understanding the scene that well. But I do feel like reaching back a little bit into the past to pull up sounds that haven't been used in metal. Susie said, we were talking about High Lung, and she said one thing that the European metal bands do that we don't do is embrace their folk music, right? And I think that's a real valid point. I cannot think of very many popular, successful metal bands that really grabbed onto folk other than say Mastodon and the kind of chicken picking guitar styles
totally
that you can see underneath some of that stuff. Cool. Well, this is a success.
All right.
Another good.
Yeah,
song.
I was expecting you guys to be playing some dog shit, but it's been cool so far.
Yeah. Whatever.
I'm into it so far.
Yeah, I'm 100%.
I mean, all three of those that we just listened to, I'm totally down.
All right, so we'll take a little bit of a break from listening to songs.
Sure.
To talk real quick
Should
about.
we visit the merch table?
It's the merch table.
Let's visit the merch table.
So every one of these bands, and I'm really glad everybody's sending in Bandcamp links. Has had pretty much everyone has had merch, and Bandcamp's been doing the Bandcamp Fridays once a month.
Yes.
Throughout the shelter in place, and I think a lot of bands are doing really well on those days. I know we paid a whole like 2 months worth of studio rent on one Bandcamp Friday.
Damn.
So and when you're listening to music on Bandcamp and flipping through those records, think about that's what you're doing. Like, you buy our record and a T-shirt, like that goes to keeping us in a studio and us going to a studio to record music. Period. All right, so you go first, JD. What do you got?
I'll go first. What did I get in the mail this week?
Yeah.
So I got a few records. This one I've never even heard of, but it came from my record club. It's called Nightfell. You heard of Nightfell, Jake?
No, I like the art. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm thinking it's going to be very very heavy, but I should have listened to it. And then they did a repressing. This band that I love called Open Hand. They are actually from LA, and they did a repressing of this album that they put out like back in, probably 2000, maybe 99. I'm not even sure, but it's great. And it actually came with, and this is not planned at all, but they threw in a 7-inch from Jonah Matrenga and Kevin Seconds. They did a
Oh,
7-inch
okay.
together. So very Sacramento.
Yeah, there you go.
Jonah was actually the singer for a band called Far, who is one of my all-time favorite bands. And wasn't planned, but I'm wearing a One-Line Drawing t-shirt, which is another one of his bands. So this is like a very Jonah episode. And then, speaking of Americana,
Oh shit!
I got the new Avett Brothers album came in the mail today. The Gleam.
Aren't they
Gleam
super
3.
old?
Avett Brothers have been around.
Or am I thinking of somebody else?
I don't know. There's just these.
They've probably been around at least 20 years, right? Aren't they on like the Oh Brother, Where Art Thou soundtrack or something?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so, but it is. They were kind of that.
They could be.
Sort of knee slapping. Yeah, violins and banjos. Not violins, fiddles. They don't play violins in Americana music. It's fiddles.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Jeff?
So we got over Moontooth last week, and we had already JD and I had already ordered copies of the latest record, Crux, and then an acoustic record that they put out, 5 acoustic versions of 5 of their own songs. Have you ever listened to them?
I heard them on the podcast. They were like
Okay.
the super wild, like genre smashers, right?
Yeah,
It's
like
like
crazy soulful singer over this like kind of tech,
proggy. tech.
Yeah. It was
it's-
super trippy. That was like the first guys you played, I think, on that.
yeah. That was the how did we just find out about this?
Exactly.
segment.
Yep.
So here's fun. Let's
Ooh, should we listen to Nightfell?
let's listen to Nightfell.
Let's give it a. Okay.
Fuck,
Ready.
they're on Bandcamp.
They're on Bandcamp.
Someone's playing the fiddle over there.
All right,
Okay.
we'll just play whatever
See
it is
what
they
I'm in
want us
for.
to hear. And they're from Portland.
Oh. All right.
All right.
All right.
I like that. I mean, you can
I was
see
digging it. I dug the first 2 parts because it kind of had like a weird Baroque, like curtsying quality
Yeah.
to it. I'm not into like black metal at all, and the guy's vocals kind of bordered on that, but it wasn't bad. That's just like a personal preference thing.
Yeah, it's that like sort of deathy.
Yeah, completely.
I mean, you can see where they're headed here
Yeah.
from a song title standpoint.
The Last Disease.
Reaping
I
commences.
am decay.
Funeral dirge. I mean, if you're writing this kind of music, I mean, it's on Southern Lord. They're people
Oh, okay.
people clearly like them.
Yeah.
But if you're this band, isn't Funeral Dirge the last song you can ever write before you change into another type of band? Like it's like you're putting your stamp on it. There's the Funeral Dirge. We're out. Now we're gonna play pop.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, there's no subtlety to the song titles, which is not without merit, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about that with Susie too. It's like sometimes it's good to give all of this stuff, the titles, the artwork, gives the listener expectation, and so you're not at all shocked to see 6 and 7 minute songs, and you know that you're probably going to have to listen for a while before you get into the meat of some of those songs. Or
Exactly.
Yeah.
what the
Well, to
vocals-
get back to Pound, look at their song titles. Tell me you know about what the fuck is about to happen, you know?
Yeah, you couldn't. You know exactly what's going to happen, but you can't.
I only know because Ryan explained it to me.
I don't even want to know. Don't explain it.
You don't want to know?
The thing with Pound is I'm so dumb when it comes to like what they're doing. I just let it wash over me.
Yeah.
I don't even think about it.
I probably shouldn't share it because he messaged it to me, but he sent me the tablature, the notation for a new song that they are working on, where the final time signature is like 124 over I don't even remember what now.
Jesus.
And I just stared at the sheet like, what the fuck is this? But
That's crazy.
that's Pound. They exist to give that to the world, and the world needs it.
I'm glad they understand it and they can do it, because then somebody's doing it and they do such a great job that I'm like, it's in good hands. Whatever madness they're creating is in good hands, you know.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Did you pick up anything this week or recently?
Anything
for the merch
I've
table?
been getting back into the movies lately, so I've been buying DVDs. But
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I'm looking at Bandcamp. The last things that I bought, the first 3 are all Transylvanian Recordings records. And I actually, if you look behind me, there's a Transylvanian Recordings flag that I got in the mail yesterday. So
Nice.
I'm turning my studio into like a 14-year-old boy's like hangout. But I got Evils, which is some just like gnarly ass death metal, which
that's James's band, right?
correct.
Yeah.
It's described as disgusting death metal.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to jumping into that.
James, I don't even know. I've met him a bunch of times. Raw. He runs the label, and they do a lot of tape releases. They did the Skypig tape release. And
Yes.
he's a fixture around
Gotcha.
here. You go to shows in San Francisco or the East Bay, you're going to see him. He was at the show that we saw with Broom and Body Void.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was there. Really long dreadlocks. I don't know if he still has those anymore. Super good dude. Another guy, just DIY guy, helping bands out. You know,
cool.
helping the scene out. Busting his
So
ass.
you guys are obviously nice people. That's why I'm here talking to you. It's amazing.
Thanks.
It's amazing to me how many really nice, helpful people that I've met, and it's made everything so much easier. Like, it starting from like day one of this band. It's like I've met so many people who've just been kind and respectful and kept up with over the years, and he's one of them. And yeah, it's always mind blowing. I'm like, man, you're just like, you're being nice just to be nice, like, because it's the right thing to do, you know?
Yep.
I think there's people that are like in the music scene because they want to be, because they love music, and because they love artists. And then there's the people, you know, that are in it, that are, their goal is to make money.
Which is so fucking stupid.
Which is just,
I know.
And it's those people, it's the people that are usually in it for the money, you know, those are the ones that,
Well,
you know, end up not being the nicest.
and that's why it's no surprise to me that, you know, in the kind of the subgenres that we live in, if you're talking about, you know, stoner, doom, sludge, but I would expand that to other adjacent areas, there is a really high concentration of cool people, and that's because you just don't do this expecting success. Only a very deluded person goes like, I'm gonna start another doom band, and we're gonna get fucking huge.
Yeah, the definition of success, like the bar is very low.
So then it just kind of weeds out a lot of assholes because they're off trying to do something else that MTV or Spotify or somebody cares about. Yeah. You know? So, yeah.
Well, my thing is, if I meet you and you're an asshole, you will never hear from me ever again.
Yeah.
Oh,
It doesn't matter if you say, "Hey, I have $1,000 for you." I'll be like, "All right, cool, later."
Yeah. I have a list as a promoter and as a person in a band. I have a list, and you know, the right side of the list is people I will never work with again. And it's very easy to get placed on that list, and I'm very black and white about it. And I'm exactly the same way, because I just don't. I invest my personal time into all of this. You know, time that I could be with my kids or my wife, or doing better at work, or even, you know, working in, you know, doing stuff for the band. And it's all important to me, and it has to be spent with people that are respectful and cool and don't waste my time, don't fuck me over. So
Yeah.
all right, so now we have the last 3 submissions. So we have here we have a song. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. This is going to be good.
All right.
We have that was a fun little detour with Nightfell.
Yeah.
Do it again the next time you get a record from a band
That I haven't listened to yet.
So these guys also submitted.
Oh man, I am.
Yeah.
Just this cover.
Yeah, this is Incursion. So
See, this cover scares me. I have a thing. I hate anything that has to do with knights.
Oh really?
I don't know why. If I see a movie that's like sword and sorcery, I'm like, nope. Like the closest I've ever gotten is like Lord of the Rings. I'll watch that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's something that just bothers me when I see it. It kind of reminds me of the Molly Hatchet cover, which I'm pretty sure that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put the anti-knight feelings in the back of my head, and we'll listen.
Yeah, and like the 10,000 artists that Frank Frazetta spawned, that left in his wake. But you're pretty sure you're gonna hear some battle metal, some power metal here. They didn't actually submit a title, so I just picked a song, and since I'm in the mood to try and
they didn't?
To be positive, I selected Guiding Faith.
Okay.
That seems like maybe a more uplifting part. And that is the one thing that you can get.
I thought they submitted Fade to Black.
Oh, did they submit Fade to Black? Okay, well then I'll play Fade to Black. But I might want to hear a little bit.
Is this a Metallica cover?
I didn't pick Fade to Black because I'm like, who names the song Fade to Black?
No way.
This is Chapter 4, Fade to Black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay, here we go.
Darkness fills his eyes, but all tears are shown. In morbid states, he just lies there alone, tearing out nightmares and wanting to die, taking out the one who fights with his mind.
Fuck, he went for it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Hey, if you can do that and pull it off, then more power to you, man. That's hard to do. So this isn't in my daily quiver of music that I listen to. I will dip into this on occasion, just to like I said last week with Susie, to enforce a certain mood, whatever, running around my backyard trying to exercise, or punching a punching bag or something. But it's not. I'll probably get in trouble for this.
It's not an everyday listen.
I wasn't a Maiden kid. I was a Rush kid.
Yeah.
Right? And so, and not like those two were opposed, but it's just like the original new wave of British heavy metal bands. It just were never my go-to.
Thank you for saying this. This is very brave of you. I feel the same way.
Look, I love all the people like Trevor from Haunt. I'm really great friends with Trevor, and he's single-handedly, ushering in a new wave of new wave. And I love it.
True.
And there are genre people who fucking love this shit and live for it, and it's actually an area where you could be successful. I mean, tours of bands like this, and especially in fucking Europe, man, they go nonstop, and they make great money, and there's an audience for it. But it's not my go-to. I went.
This would have been my go-to back in the 80s.
Oh, really?
I would have eaten this shit up. I mean, and like you said, there's people that still do. They just love this.
Yeah.
And, I kind of, not really. I can't do the power metal all the time anymore. But I'd like to listen to some more.
All right. Yeah. All right. Let's do it.
Battle's still going and scars show the pain. Flesh is still withered and blood flows like rain. Vultures still waiting to feast on your flesh, wanting to help them, they won't get no rest. Look through your window to keep in the past. Once was a hunter and now haunted land. Now he must flee to the kingdom of death, or he'll fade to black. Yeah.
this is just fun to listen to.
Yeah, it's fun. It's I would say it's dangerous ground to get into because there are mountains and mountains and mountains of perfectly executed versions of these songs, and then you're always going to get compared to. And I mean, it's really good. I couldn't pull off most of that, especially the vocal parts.
Well, I like it. Too. I mean, so much of the music we listen to has people that can't sing worth shit. So, like, when you hear somebody that can, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I can appreciate it.
I also tend to like it live. Like when we did last time, Haunt came through town, and it was like Haunt and Idle Hands and Hellfire from San Francisco, and it was fucking great live, and Hellfire's like right in this vein. Yeah. And it was fantastic live, but it's
completely. I mean, if these guys, hit up California, did a tour, I'd put them on a show.
All right. There you go. Where are they from? They are from Miami, Florida.
Miami.
Interesting.
Home of 70-year-olds.
We do not come across many bands in the genres that I tend to listen to in metal that are from Florida. Florida puts out a lot more of this and that like modern like crotch metal that I hope never gets submitted to us because I will not be able to be nice about it.
Well, two of the best metal bands in my opinion are from Florida, which is Torch and Floor.
Oh yeah.
Correct.
But other than that, I don't know any. Actually, no, we played with a great sludge band. It was Chrome Ghost, Body Void, and this band called Welltesser that went on. They went on tour with Body Void, and they were sick. They were fucking
we saw them.
Gnarly.
We saw them. That they played that Broom show too.
Did they play that Broom show?
Yeah, they played that was that same tour. Well, and Cave of Swimmers talk about a two-piece.
Oh, that's right.
That's incredible. Those guys are great. No,
there's a lot of there's some good bands in Florida.
I just like to shit talk Florida when I can.
Yeah. I like the guy that mixed it, Jorg Eucken.
I don't think you can give Floor and Torch to Florida anymore, though. Steve relocated to Oregon, and he seems like maybe the least Florida human. If there was like Florida Man and then the opposite doppelganger of
Oregon Man,
that would be Steve. That would
Oregon
be Steve
Man.
Brooks of Torch.
I want to point out something that's bothering me on this Bandcamp thing. So there's 5 people in the band. 3 of them have normal names, and one of them is named Max Havoc with 2 X's.
Yeah.
And then one is named Stone James with 2 S's on the end. And I can't. You either got to do it all or
no. You
like
all
everybody in the band has to have
you got to be
pseudonym.
Nikki Six with 2 X's. And,
yes.
Yeah. No,
there's another band. Oh my God, the worst one is Avenged Sevenfold. That one of the guys' names is Sinister Gates.
Yeah,
come on, man.
I have very complex feelings about that band that we could probably spend a couple days discussing.
Avenged Sevenfold.
But there is one record that I blasted a lot, and I can still go back and listen to some of it.
Was it one of the early ones?
That was the one with Backcountry, and it was the one that had the kind of like mainstream pop and. On radio and TV and stuff. Yeah. And the singer, as time has gone on, has actually appeared to turn into a pretty decent human being, which is the last thing I would expect from just the whole picture of Avenged Sevenfold. But yeah, that's rough, man. That naming thing, and a lot of these power metal bands will do that. They'll like take on characters. There's one here in the Bay Area. They all dress up like orcs.
That's cool.
Yeah, War Troll, I think.
War Troll.
Yeah, they're actually really good too. If you really want to get into some battle metal, War Troll's great.
That's awesome. Yeah, what makes you think that Max Havoc isn't his real name though?
I just have a weird feeling.
Kilgore.
Yeah.
That's fake, right?
I mean,
Damn.
if you want to go there.
I'm just kidding.
No, I just didn't even occur to me that you have a sick name.
That is a sick name.
Well, there's a little bit of a duality because my last name is Kilgore, but then my first and middle name is Jake Ryan, which is from 16 Candles.
Oh yeah, nice.
So it depends on what your perspective is, I guess.
All right, waiting for Bandcamp.com. All right, we have 2 more.
What do we have next?
Last two. Next is a song called Renegade Breakdown from an artist called Marie Davidson and Le Ciel Nu, which I assume is French for the new sky. From Montreal, Quebec.
I don't think this was submitted, right?
No, this was
is
not
another
submitted.
top
This was
Bandcamp.
off the top.
Okay,
the
unless
top
Matt sent it.
Bandcamp list. No, Matt did not send this. All right, and this song is Worst Come to Worst. Oh no, let's listen to the title track, Renegade Breakdown.
Denied my application? I'm not a slave of your institution. You want a weapon of mass distraction. I'll give you a demonstration. By the way, there are no moneymakers on this record. This time I'm exploring the loser's point of view. Never mind the term. It's a renegade breakdown. I don't want your advice on how to elaborate my speech. I have no interest in your political agenda. Your intentions fluctuate like the stock market. Your masquerade is grotesque. Your style.
That's a good question. Is this a spoken word album with the soundtrack?
I fucking hope not.
Yeah, right.
A new
Like
band.
the music is, I can get down with the music, but the talking just bothers me.
Yeah,
The talking was
that came up last week too.
Skip forward, but it's on Ninja Tune.
You know what that is?
Yeah, they're I believe Ninja Tune is Bay Area. They put out a bunch of like electro, like hip hop or trip hop.
All right, so lyrics writer and synth player. So I think maybe this is spoken word. Let's just hear a little bit more.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Get your cursor.
If my cursor will ever work. Hey, ignore my messy desktop.
Yeah.
Don't screenshot and zoom
Cut
in.
that part out.
Overcalculated. Expect no collaboration.
Singing!
That woman on the far right looks like AOC.
Oh. Yeah, so if the spoken word is like delivering the manifesto that the rest of the album manifests, then fine. Let's see. She wanted us to sing.
Yes.
And I want you close to me, oh.
This is way better.
Ooh, and I want you close to me, oh. Show me, show me, show me, show me, show me the way. Show me, show me, show me, show me, show me the way. Boy, you really got me stuck. Worst comes to worst, I'm feeling down.
Yeah, I mean, I like the
It's for
music is
someone.
kinda cool.
It's not for me.
It's not I'm not into her vocals.
Yeah, I don't.
When it was more melodic singing, I thought it was pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just my personal preference of like anything that's kind of like talky or conversational or casual.
Talk singing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely like a Italians do it better vibe, like
Yeah.
chromatics and stuff like that, which I actually really like that kind of music a lot. So I'm cool with this like French disco thing, but yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe if I listen to something else that she's done, then maybe it would grab me more, or
Yeah, we'll have to ask our resident French Canadian friend Matt St. Marie about her, and if this is an artist that people know.
It's
all right.
Yeah, probably. If they're a Ninja Tune and they've got multiple records, they've been doing this a while. Ninja Tune's a fairly big label.
And finally, we have Sorcia.
I know these folks
from Seattle, Washington. All right.
I have not heard these folks.
I listened very briefly when we were booking a tour in March, and then forgot about them. Sorry, we didn't end up touring or playing with you guys. It's not your fault.
Well, that happened to us too. We had a show with Sorcia in Seattle, and that obviously didn't work out.
Yeah. So this is a song called Nowhere But Up, again with the uplifting titles.
Damaging my body to relax my soul. I find out what it means to have no control. The last thing I remember before the blackout.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm into it. Yeah, I liked it when he was kind of doing his clean singing. It was sort of twangy. It kind of had like an Americana, like folky.
Oh, I immediately my mind's poisoned because I saw Seattle and I thought, this is like in that great tradition of the like the proto Yarlers of Seattle.
Yeah.
That kind of Eddie Vedder, Chris Cornell.
Oh, really?
A little bit, yeah. Just in the clean parts. I like it though, and I like the dynamics of having multiple voices to sing with.
Yeah, completely.
This I was thinking like, oh, this would be a cool band to see, like in like a swamp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It had that like really like swampy, really lazy vibe to it. Just like the pace of it is just totally dragging, and I'm like, this is like. There's one light bulb in the middle of the room and there's fucking moths all over it or something, and you're just listening to this band,
Or like they shoot a video and the screen's completely dark, and then it slowly illuminates from the center, and they're on like a floating wooden platform in the middle of a swamp.
Yeah,
just playing.
I wonder if anybody does swamp shows.
It'd be fun.
Just sludge metal shows in the swamp.
I mean, there's a lot of it comes from there, so
yeah.
That all sounds romantic, but really all the fucking bugs and the
It'd
heat,
be horrible.
getting electricity onto the barge,
keeping the alligators away.
So one thing, this is our wheelhouse, right? And one thing that's so hard to get right, but really comes through in a recording, and I hear here is, bands in the kind of the doom and the sludge scene treat their equipment like their amplifiers like a monster that they're wrestling into submission in order for it to produce notes. And you can hear that because when you push the gain to the very top and you're constantly about to get feedback or about to make a weird noise, and it's like the whole thing becomes a system or a unit, and you can hear the crackling. Like the beginning of the new Sleep record, when you hear the crack
of
Matt's tone, and you just know exactly what the amps had to be pushed to in order to get that electric crackle. And Sabbath was the first band to figure it out, and that's why it sounds like Sabbath, if you're crackling like that and you use the tritone, it's like, okay, we're in that world. You know, let's hear what else is coming.
The tritone.
Yeah.
Cackle.
Yeah, well,
Crackle.
the devil's note.
Yeah. Let's listen to some more.
Yeah. All right.
What's the color of the bathroom floor?
Whoa.
The hotel search is killing me. Going through withdrawals forgive me.
So we'd write a change like that, and then there would be a long discussion about whether you bridge the two or whether you just hard cut into the new part. And that's like inside the mind of a band writing music. But I like it. I like sometimes like a hard write like that that's just off in a different direction, either rhythmically or in a different key or whatever.
They did it. They pulled it off.
Yeah, they did it.
It
They
didn't
pulled
feel
it off.
awkward. It was just like you have to stand back and go like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? It kind of reminded me of the song Rodeo by Caius, where it just has this,
Yeah.
it gets heavy and all of a sudden it just goes, "Whoa," and you're like, what
Yep.
the fuck just happened to the tempo and everything? And
Yeah,
I Hate God does this kind of stuff a lot too, and you can tell that they are drawing influence from them, but it's not like too much.
copycatty. Yeah, it can be hard to like distinguish yourself from the piles and piles of bands writing music like this. But I would keep listening at this point.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the bass player mixed this record. Like the bass
think?
is really present. I want to hear like another guitar track. Like they need to do an overdub or something.
Yeah, the bass is super present, and then as a bass player, I'm always happy that
Dude,
my people let my people go.
Let my people.
No,
that was
stupid.
bad.
yeah, sorry about that. That is deeply offensive. It's just harboring years and years of anger about injustice for all, and
I give that record a thumbs down. The production stinks, and like I don't know, everything sounds like it's like in one of those anechoic chambers where it's like there's no reverb whatsoever. Like they hate the drum sound on Injustice for All. Like
I like the songs. I don't like the way most of it sounds.
That's
but
fair.
you can tell what happened was, James and Kirk and Lars were finally like, well, it's terrible that Cliff is dead, but he's also not here telling us not to do this stupid shit anymore. So we can do all the stupid shit that he had the sense to stop
avoid.
us from doing.
this is the birth of a new conspiracy theory.
Oh, hey, I'm not even suggesting it was intentional. That would be very hard.
I'm not saying you're intending that. I'm just saying this
Gotcha.
could be the birth. You never know. I mean, people are freaking out about shit every day. So
Yeah. If this shows up on QAnon, I'm gonna lose my mind. Here, let's
Was that the opening track?
no.
I
Yeah,
want to hear how this album opens.
okay.
that's key.
I've got a feeling in my head that I just can't seem to let go. And in some time I find I never know. I've just been filling my mind with empty holes.
I do think they did go with a pretty stripped down approach to the guitars. I feel you on that. Like
Yeah,
maybe some layers of guitars in there.
you only need two, really.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
I think that they should ghostwrite the next Electric Wizard album. Because Wizard, their last album, I love
Yeah,
those
I didn't-
guys. They're so fucking lazy.
Yeah.
Like I saw them live at the Warfield, I think, like last year or the year before, and they just looked fucking bored. And I was like, man, I don't know
Yeah,
what's
they
up with
probably
you
are.
guys. And then I heard the new record, and it sounds like a bad Uncle Acid rip, and I'm like, come on, get Sorcia to write a couple fucking songs for them that'd be exciting. Because this beginning reminded me of like, oh, this could be like a good Wizard song, like if they still care.
I know the members of the band will understand what kind of high praise that is too.
Oh, that
Hey,
is.
4 CDs left. If you're listening to this, be a dude and sell out the rest of those CDs, and then they can make some new ones.
Yeah, the Blynd Submyshynz army, go.
Yeah, Blynd Submyshynz Army. I think we ended up selling like 3 or 4 albums for that guy.
For Tom Aspal. It is a very small militia right now, but that's fine. An army can build in time.
Yeah, we'll build an army.
Yeah. Awesome. No, that was really good. And
that was awesome.
You know, we'll cop to that being not completely blind. Jake, you knew who they were, and I had briefly listened to them, but
I'd
that's
never
fine.
heard them.
JD had never heard them, and I hadn't
will
listened.
probably now buy one of those. Well, I don't want to buy a CD. What am I supposed to do with a CD?
Fun.
Isn't our modern life just an embarrassment of riches where we're like, do I buy the CD? Do I buy the tape? Do I buy the record? Do I get the download? Like,
yeah.
No, just stream it on Spotify for sure. That's the best.
that'll
way to do
pay.
it.
That's the way to
yeah,
go.
that'll pay.
just stream it every day, 24 hours a day for a year, and then they'll get that price of the CD out of it.
Yeah.
They'll get that $10.
And just spend $100 on streaming bots to get about $1 worth of streaming revenue. That's the economics of streaming music.
I tell you.
Awesome. Well, that was fun. That was six songs.
Yeah.
Four submissions.
That was awesome.
2 Bandcamp gems.
That was not. I don't think there was anything on there. Well, the one that you pulled from the Montreal.
Yeah, I don't.
The music I liked. I
It's
didn't like being
fine.
talked to.
If anyone goes, hey, can you think of any pop artists from Montreal
yeah.
that I should listen to? I'd
Yeah.
go that one.
We'll say that one.
That's the one I know. But I don't know if it would go farther than that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we want to give you a minute here to actually. Do you have your record? Do you have any copies of your own of the Chrome Ghost?
I
record?
have some, yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's
grab one.
still some from Seeing Red Records as well. We're getting really close. Like I have some that I'm keeping so that when we do play shows again, whenever that is, I'll have some that people can buy. We're pretty low. There's still some Diving Bell. There's 2 variants. There's like a Seafoam splatter one, and then there's like a dark deep sea galaxy looking one that's like black and blue and all that. And
If you
there's
wanna
still a
show-
couple left.
Yeah, if you want to show one off, if you have one handy near you, can
Yeah,
grab
I
one.
got some boxes over here. Actually, they're right behind me.
Go for it. Yeah.
Is there a video component to this? Because I've been picking
Oh,
my
yes.
nose the whole time.
No, you have not. Come on now.
So yeah, this is like the Seafoam splatter one,
Oh, that's cool.
and then
Cool. And show the cover because it's a brilliant cover. too.
this cover, I don't know what we would have done without this cover.
I love it. It's so eye catching. It just makes me want to go like, what's inside there?
Yeah, we wanted when I talked to Molly Devlin, who was the artist who painted the cover. I was like, we're a super duper heavy band, but I want somebody to be able to see the art and not necessarily know that it's a metal record. Like that's irrelevant almost. And then we got there's pink in it too, so it's like a black and
that's
blue
cool.
and pink.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I got some of these. I think if we sell out online, I'll put some up. But yeah, otherwise, I'd like to have some for when we finally play a show again. I can have some to sell.
Right.
You know, because that's the thing. And I'm not going to talk about this as if we're the only band that was affected, but think about every band that you like. They probably stocked up on merch in February, and now they're all fucking screwed. You know, I have big bins filled with shirts and stuff like that. And every band is going through the same thing. So it's hard to ask for money in this time because it's like everybody's fucking screwed. But there are people that have money that they want to support artists that they like. So I think if you can and you want to, then it's going to be more helpful than it normally would be.
Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah, I would never force anyone or none of the music organizations that I'm involved with have done any kind of advertising.
Yeah.
Shit, Glory or Death did a Kickstarter for the second Bow to Your Masters record, which is an all covers record for the second time around. We're doing Deep Purple.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So we ran the Kickstarter, 0 paid advertisements, and funded our Kickstarter like 400%. They didn't want to shove it in people's faces, but if you came across it and you're interested and you had the money to support it, that's great. Didn't hurt that we got Mike to agree to do a song, which is super dope. But no, the lineup came out really great. I'm super excited about it.
I think too. I think that there's unfortunately a lot of people out of work, but and musicians that can't tour, and there's a lot of people too that now you can't go to restaurants, you can't go to shows, you can't. So that you're like saving money at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, shit. When I went on unemployment for a little bit, I had money. I was like, whoa, $600 a week. I was like, okay, what do we do?
Don't let Senate Republicans hear that comment. That's their worst fear.
You know what though? That money is stimulating the economy. So
yeah,
Senate Republicans.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
And it was needed. And it should continue, but that's a whole other discussion. All right, so let's share a little Chrome Ghost, and I'm just gonna. You should just play the first track.
No, you should play Halo. You should play the second track.
All right.
That gets right into it.
All right.
Awakened by the dawn.
Too fucking good.
You know what's funny though? That part we refer to as the butt rock part, because it has like a really basic progression in the in terms like music theory or whatever. Even though there's like seventh chords in there or whatever, but this song got restructured. Like 70% of it got thrown away. And we wrote the rest of it a couple months before we recorded it. And this song was like the lead single that we wanted on the record, even though it's like 6 minutes long. And I was like, there has to be a song with a hook. There has to be a song with a chorus. This is essentially a verse, chorus, bridge song. But you would never know because the bridge is comprising half of the runtime of the song.
Oh, yeah.
So... Because we think a lot about like structure and how we're going to be doing things, and so this is the best that we can do for a pop song. I've listened to this record so many times because I get really obsessed with whatever I'm doing, and this is the song right now that I like the most.
That's funny. No, I like it a lot, and it's we do the same thing. It's like mostly think of what we're doing as some kind of weird hybrid prog. But every record has one or two songs that have to have some hooks and a singable chorus, and it's there. Butt Rock got some things right. I'll just say that.
Hey, I mean, whatever.
It got a few things right, and I was watching with a good friend of mine, actually a guy who I was in a band with a long time ago, watching some bands in Sacramento when we played at On the Y. And
On the fucking Y, Jesus.
Yeah. And I won't name who we were watching, and he's like, see, he's super drunk, and he's like, see, you got to do more of that, like, it's catchy, and it's like, and then 3 minutes later, he turned around and walked back to the bar and sat down, and I was like, exactly, right? I'll do that in 1 minute increments.
Yeah.
We'll put it in there, but I can't do it for a whole record or even a whole song.
Yeah.
But it has its place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem doing something that's beautiful, even though it's not, like, heavy, I guess. You know, and this part of the song is not really, it's only heavy because it's in drop A. If the instrumentation was different, it's like a total pop melody, you know. But choruses are important. We have a track on the new record that's like, it's the big one. It's like the 14-minute long song, and it only has 2 choruses, but each chorus is like almost a full minute long. So the sense of scale gets all skewed, and
yeah, for sure.
You know,
it's long chorus.
It's hard. You know.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, a minute long. Whew. Didn't you only have one album for this?
One full length. Yeah, we had one called Choir of the Low Spirits that came out in 2016. And then we had 2 EPs, and the first one is called Reflection Pool, and that was like a huge dynamic shift for us in the band. And then we had one called Shallows, that's like a total weirdo, like redheaded stepchild in the discography.
Nice.
And then this one, and then the next release that we will put out will be the full length.
Still on Seeing Red, or is that undecided or unannounced yet?
I'm not sure. I'm just like, we're just kind of playing it by ear, because I've had a great experience with Seeing Red, and Thomas Haywood's a really nice guy. It's just the whole genesis of how the Diving Bell came to be was really fractured and weird, and when we were all super depressed after the record was done. Because I was too. I just didn't feel like it was what I wanted it to be. And we kind of sat on it. We didn't do anything with it for like 3 months. I have no plan whatsoever. And then I kind of decided, hey, we'll just like self-release it. And then I talked to James Raw from Transylvania, and he was like, no, dude, like, please let me put this out. And then I was like, okay. So we decided to put it out. And the day that we released it, Tom from Seeing Red messaged me and was like, hey, I want to put this record out. And then we started talking from there. And then unfortunately my grandma died. And then around the same time that happened, one of Thomas's good friends died. So we were kind of going back and forth, and like one of us was swinging one direction while the other wasn't going the other way.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, there's a saying that my dad used to tell me, which is life is what happens when you're making plans. And that's kind of how it worked out. Like if we would have attacked this from day one with like a good plan, PR and releasing and all this stuff, I think it would be bigger than it is now. But that's just, I don't have any regrets. It's just, it is what it is. Like,
yeah, and if honestly, if the source material is good, then and you guys keep at it, then you get there, right? It's like you can shorten your time to whatever your max possibility is if you take all of those right steps. But you guys make another record as good as this record, and it's gonna build. You're gonna build from here on out.
That's the hope. That's what I'd like.
Yeah,
yeah, and I mean, most of my favorite bands are, had a very workmanlike DIY approach to putting music out, and just didn't give a fuck about PR and reviews and everything, and just like had their head down, knew what they wanted to make, had a vision for the look and feel of it all, and then it was good enough that it just ended up in front of people's faces and in people's hands. And
yeah, I mean, the hope is that we are working within a meritocracy where the power of your idea dictates its floating to the top or not. That's not necessarily the case, obviously, but I think that it's not a coincidence that after our record that had the most hard work behind it ended up becoming the most popular one. Not to say that we hadn't worked hard previously, but we also had the power of each subsequent release adds a little bit of ballast to the ship, and we kind of like, you know, so not only if we make another good record, which I think we will, it's not, the context includes everything that we've done previously.
Yeah,
so
the base of your pyramid is a little bit taller. Yeah, and you know, and I've seen bands. So you've seen bands like I just saw today the guys from the other band that Sebastian is in, the kind of gothy metal band that played the night, Idle Hands. Oh yeah. So I just saw tonight that they posted today that the Idle Hands record has streamed 3 million times since this time last year. They fucking blew up, and it felt like it was out of nowhere. But those dudes have been in other bands, including Spellcaster, and they just understood the machine. And so when and that's what's interesting is, like, you make another great Chrome Ghost record and it does better than this one, and then something else comes along and you start another band, the compiled knowledge of everything that you went through to get to Chrome Ghost, the first record from that new band is going to be a whole different experience than say starting from zero with Chrome Ghost.
But it also brings people to that next
thing.
And
it brings people to it. Yeah, that Idle Hands blew me away. They were like they opened for fucking King Diamond, like out of nowhere. But those dudes they just know everybody. They know how the machine works, and they took advantage of it. So they work that way. And then Trevor from Haunt, I think, is another interesting case where he is just like a relentless content creator.
He's always doing something.
So the other avenue is he lovingly crafts all his music, but you just can't help but be in people's faces when you're putting out a record every 3 months. And that's basically what it is. Guy just has music oozing out of his hands and his mouth and his brain, and he has to. I think his favorite thing is being in the studio. So he just produces music, and it caught on. And when he took control of his own fate and got out of the labels he was in and just decided to do everything himself at his pace, because he was being held back. Like, he wanted to put records out, but the label wouldn't let him. It's like, we don't have space in the schedule, and he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it all myself. And he's totally doing it. So awesome. Well, it was really great to see you, even over video, and talk about some music and hang out.
Yeah, I'm happy. This was I was a little nervous because, like I said, I was afraid of talking shit, but I didn't really do any shit talking, so I'm happy.
No,
I didn't ruin my own reputation or hurt someone's feelings. You know, it was fun to hang out and talk. And I've never used Zoom before, so I feel like a true millennial right now.
Yeah, getting that Zoom experience. I'm sure you've used some kind of video chat, FaceTime or something.
I've never FaceTimed anybody.
Oh wow! All right. Well, you did good.
Wow. I'm a weirdo. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, we're the ones who had technical difficulties in the beginning, not you. So
they don't need to know about that. That's fine.
No, they don't. Awesome. Again, thanks a lot, Jake. Look forward to getting this out. Everything goes right with the recording. This will be posted up tomorrow.
Yeah. So, cool. I'm gonna send you some shit right now.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good day.
Peace.
Have a good one.
Reminder, everybody. Blynd Submyshynz. We are taking music submissions. Feel free to email them to blyndsub, BLYND sub @gmail.com, and we will watch the inbox for more submissions. We've got a few on deck still that we didn't use this week, but we can always use more. And so we'll look forward to posting this up and then letting you guys know who the next guest is going to be. So again, I am and was Jeff Wilson. JD Norton.
I am and still am.
JD Norton.
Still was. Why did you say was?
I don't know.
I'm JD.
And we will see you next time on Blynd Submyshynz.
Out.